Cool. I think it's started. Hey, do you have sound by any chance? Actually, I don't think you do, which is really strange. Why does it do that? Oh, it is. It does have sound. Okay, that's good. Yeah, so I changed things and it's not good. Hang on. Where's my layout editor? Okay, you sure you have sound? The mixer says you don't have sound. Really? Are you sure? No, I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong. Anyways, I ordered a new computer to be here on Sunday. All right, so I got to get my coffee on before we start. Got to clean my desk. Get ready for the big shoe. Oh my God. London, Belfast, and Berlin. Hey, good morning, Guy. I think Guy and Ron, I need to do something for, so I'm going to go back in my email and check it. I broke my guitar. Does this sound right? That's out of tune, right? This part's broken up here. Yeah. So anyways, I gotta fix it. Right? Does that sound like Metallica? I'm pretty sure that's not the note. Anyways. How do I fix that? I guess I have to fix that little thing. Yeah, doesn't fit. Doesn't fit. Doesn't fit. Hey, happy Thursday, Swing Trading Group, War Room. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I wish some of these things just weren't so broken all the time. Guess I probably don't even need the stupid wing screen anymore. La 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 lo. So the software says you can't hear my mic, that it's not working. Very interesting. I did make changes, so maybe that's part of it. I made changes to help with the stutter that happens at exactly like 1 hour and 5 minutes. But I ordered a new machine as well, so I have a new computer to replace the new computer. Daniel says, Wayne with the guitar? Now I'm seeing everything. Oh, no. See, I'm a lover, so that means I'm artistic. It's both, actually, your customer. There's two issues. The stutter is not the computer. It's not my microphone. We're getting a lot of comments on the YouTube videos like, change your microphone, or what are you? Whoa. It has nothing to do with the microphone. It actually has nothing to do with the computer. So anyways, that's a whole separate issue. The other one is I bought this new machine. I pulled it out of the box. I turned it on, and well, there's no sound card. What? But I installed all my computer, like all the trading platform and everything. Didn't even think of looking at the sound. And then I'm like, wait, I can't listen to YouTube videos. What's going on? And then so I open up the Sound Blaster, and it's like there's no sound card detected. I'm like, oh. So anyway, so I go to tech support, and they're like, you need to register. Okay, so I registered. Then they're like, you need to register your machine. So I registered my machine. They're like, you need to talk to tech support. Click here to talk, or to chat. So I click on the chat. Takes 20 minutes for them to come on. And they're like, what's the number of your machine? So I give them the number of the machine. Oh, sorry, your warranty is expired. Dude, I just bought it last week. Yeah, well, you got to do a proof of purchase. So then I do a proof of purchase. Oh, it's going to take another 48 hours. So 48 hours goes by. Then I contact tech support, and they're like, okay, great, we can help you now. Delete a couple of drivers. Okay, reboot the machine. Okay, doesn't work. They're like, oh, okay, well, you have to send it to one of our support centers. We will fix it. It will take approximately 20 days, plus the shipping to us, plus the shipping back to us. When would you like to set this up? I'm like, I'm returning the computer. So anyways, that's been the process. Isn't that funny? So I'm like, I'll just buy another machine. Come on. So I'm using this machine while the other machine shows up, and then I'm going to swap them up. To be honest with you, I think it's just a Windows Update error. I think Windows Update, the last one, killed a whole bunch of sound cards. Jean-Guy's like, drives you crazy, right? Luckily, I was already crazy, so. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Or hundreds of millions. Oh, we must be getting close. Yeah, I just hit 9 o'clock. Perfect. Perfect. 3, 2, 1. Kick busted. Do. Are you getting an intro video? I don't think anything's working now. I clicked intro video. No. So weird. So weird, yo. All right, something's not working. Huh. All right. So, like I said, yeah, I don't know if you can hear me now. Do I like the new Acer? I like the Optane. It seems to be faster. It seems to make a difference. The Optane memory. It is faster. Anyways, let me remind you that trading is risky and not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term. Never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Okay, so once again, it's not showing that you can hear me. I see Razer mic that's here, but it doesn't show to be working. Can you just confirm one more time? No. Okay, thank you. Okay, hey, my name is Wayne McDonald. I got my exploration hat on today. Wore it for my daughter. She asked about it a couple of days ago, so I grabbed it and wore it today. There's a deep meaning in there, I'm sure. So anyways, hey, good morning. Nice to see you. Welcome to Forex.Today. I'm a currency trader. How about you? How do you know? Because it says right here, Forex. Cool, see? Forex trader. Okay? Forex trader. That means I like things like macroeconomics, all that kind of stuff. We have a Jackson Hole speech today, don't we? Or at least Jay Powell's going to talk. By the way, do you know how to tell when a central banker is lying? How can you tell if a central banker is lying? Their lips are moving. So anyways, we got that today. Could be very interesting. It's not your normal, right? It's not your normal day. Sure, we got some weekly jobless claims and all that kind of stuff, but whatever. So we'll look into that in a little bit. I got the Forex.Today website open, so we can take a look at that if you want. Cool. I can answer your questions, right? So ask questions. What currency pair do you want? What commodity? Do you want dollar? Do you want US dollar, Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, New Zealand dollar? Which dollar do you want me to cover? Pound or euro or yen or Swissy? All that kind of stuff. I'm willing to do gold and silver, oil, both WTI and Brent. We can do nat gas. We can do Bitcoin. I haven't done your XRP in a long time. Lots of people ask about that. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. But I'll try to answer your questions. So just be patient with me, because what happens is I look at the chat, I see someone's question, and then I look at the charts and I answer your question. And in the course of me talking for 8 minutes, there's another 27 questions asked. And obviously, I'm not going to catch them all. So just, A, keep asking. B, it's not personal. And C, I've been doing webinars on YouTube since YouTube was a little tiny startup that no one has ever heard of. So that's got to be 12 to 15 years. And so if I don't answer your question today, maybe I can answer it tomorrow. So subscribe. Okay. This channel has, I think, 1,000. I think we're getting pretty close to 1,000, maybe more now. I don't know. I'd have to look, but I think we're getting 1,000 videos on the Forex.Today YouTube channel. On the Traders Way YouTube channel, there's a few hundred. On the FX Bootcamp YouTube channel, there's about 4,000 videos. So when we're talking about thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of videos that are an hour long each, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of videos, hopefully I addressed, at least partially addressed your question. Maybe it's fabulously interesting, fabulously unique. You've asked a question that no one has ever asked me before. It could be true. But if I can't answer it here, there are resources out there for you. So subscribe, ask questions, treat your fellow traders in the chat with dignity and respect. And also, thank our sponsor, tradersway.com. They want to earn your loyalty and respect, so please give them an opportunity. They're investing into your education up front. They want you to succeed through altruism. Sure, they're good people. They want you to succeed. But it's also good business sense to have clients that are successful and they trade and trade and trade and trade and trade and trade for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. It makes good business sense, but they're taking the first step forward and investing into your education. So thank them by visiting tradersway.com and opening up a demo account. These webinars, if you find them useful, awesome. Click the thumbs up. But remember, they come with a cost. They don't cost you money, but they do come with a cost. And the cost is you must visit tradersway.com and open up a demo account. That's what you're obligated to do. So tradersway.com, open demo account. Okay? Fast execution speed, narrow spreads, wide swaps. Those are all the things you want. Tradersway.com. Here we are. Haven't looked at this in a while. I think I kind of like that short haircut. I think I might go back to the short haircut. Look at that. What do you think? Not too short, but short. You guys remember that in the beginning of the year? I tried that. Remember on Super Bowl Sunday, I'm on the freeway talking to you live on YouTube. That was kind of cool. We did a few different things. I got to update that. Or I have updated that setup. That's kind of cool. I should update some of these. So let's go to the calendar. What's going on today? Ciao. What's going on today? Look at these numbers, huh? GDP. I don't even know if that's a real number. It's just so funny because is it real? Is it transitory? Is it a glitch in the matrix? What is that? Right? Very funny. Now, if you, instead of inflation, if you looked at growth minus interest rates, that's suggesting negative real rates. Kind of interesting. I don't know what to make out of that, but it's not good. But will that be the same next year? I mean, I think it was 3 or 4 months ago, on several occasions, we talked about, I see it moving. We talked about future GDP. And so I'm not really interested in this. I'm more interested in really next year. And we've already talked about it, so I won't talk about it again. And if you're interested in all of that, go back 100 days. We've already talked about all of this, right? We're not interested in this number. We're interested in Q4. We're interested in 2021. And remember, if we're down this much, okay? If we're down this much annualized, and we have an okay right? If we have an okay next year, or if we have an okay next quarter, meaning let's say 1% growth, which is still a bad number, right? 1% GDP, but compared to negative 32%, right? What's the percentage change going from negative 32% to plus 1? Do you understand? Like the next quarter or the next period, whatever you measure, right? So let's say 2021 comes out 2% versus negative 2. The percentage is like, oh my God, it's amazing, right? So I'm preparing for that kind of response in the future. Because if everyone's freaking out now, like, oh my God, negative 31% was, that was the past. Now they're going to freak out in the future, right? Oh my God, it's up 1,000%. Holy cry moly. We can maintain a level head in the future. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about. So this doesn't scare me that much. This is interesting though, huh? Back over a mil. Got to keep an eye on that. Okay. And the big one is the Fed speech, which should just be starting right now, right? So pay attention to this, okay? Pay attention to the speech. I mean, we're not going to listen to it live, but he could say something, but I don't think so in the sense like something new, right? Like we don't care. We're interested in future policy. I think what he's going to say is that the Fed has done an amazing job and the rest is up to the government. Why do I know that? Remember, I don't have opinions. I only have facts. Why would I think this? Yeah, because I did the work and the research. In particular, where was the research? By the way, dollar's nice and weak. The FO, well, actually not the statement, the meeting minutes. It's what they actually discussed with each other. Think about that. It's what they discussed with each other. Right? So I think he's going to come out and say, the Fed's done an amazing job. Look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. This is all because of the Fed. Thank you very much. We did a great job. What's lacking is government support. Okay? So now think of this. Why has the Trump administration, well, I guess I shouldn't say it that way. The government is expected to do a big support package. The reason it hasn't come out is they were on summer vacation. And now they want to wait until as close to, I mean, if you were Trump, you would want to release a government package during the political re-election process. Right? It's like the Romans throwing bread to the crowd. Okay? And also at a period where you might see some positive results right around the actual election day. So like releasing something in August, well, first of all, they're all on holidays. And second of all, no one's paying attention yet. So now how about the end of September? And we're getting very, very close now to the actual election. So now he'll launch something and he'll say, I'm going to save American jobs. I'm going to put money in the hands of people that need it. I am going to lower taxes for small businesses, and I'm going to do all this stuff. And the Democrats are going to say, no, that's bad. But it's difficult to say that during politics and during times, during the re-election process and all that. Plus, Trump's going to do the trade war stuff. So everyone's going to be talking about Trump and Trump's policies. And even if you love him or hate him, or love the policies or hate the policies, or love the trade war or hate the trade war, that'll be the conversation. And that's going to be the big thing. And we talked about this in February. So now I think it's going to come together like that. So maybe the next 6 weeks or 5 or 6 weeks, Congress and the Senate debate about what kind of fiscal response the government will have. And that'll be more political than anything and whatever, right? But I think that's what is going to happen. And I think that's what the Fed's going to basically say is like, we've done everything we possibly can. It's up to the government. And so, boom. Okay. Okay. So I like US dollar weakness. What currency pair did I talk about being probably the best currency pair between now and the end of the year to represent sort of the canary in the coal mine? Does anyone remember? I pointed out one currency pair that might be the GPS for us. Does anyone remember? Not? Okay. Yeah, you guys got it. Aussie dollar versus US dollar. Okay? So Aussie's up, US dollar's down. Cool. So let's take a look at dollar weakness. Oh, so here we are. Okay. And let me get my drawing tool. Where is it? Where did it install? Epic. Here we go. Okay, so this is this week. Here's my Sunday trade, or we'll call that a Monday trade. Here's my Tuesday trade. Here's my Wednesday trades, but I missed them. And so now for the week, where are we? I just have this one. 250 pips now for the week. And I missed these two just because they didn't pull back. Okay. So another example, probably every couple of months a new person comes in and says, Wayne, why don't you ever do the trades, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So I bought here, which is a swing trade, and then I bought here, which was a day trade, and I tried to catch the pullback, but it didn't pull back. And so now here we are on Thursday, and I'm hitting my weekly target. Both trades are at break even, and I'm up 250 pips. Wow, wow, wow. And blah, blah, blah. And wow, wow, wow. Blah, blah, blah. So now I have to decide, if I was just typically swing trading, I would take profit and I'd walk away. Okay. And then if I was position trading, I would like to keep this alive, and I'd probably be thinking like this. Okay. Now, another thing that I would typically discuss this time of year is, even though I would like this to be the big move, very often there's a process of breaking your spirit first. And you think you got it, but you don't, right? And so you get, let's say, 100% retracement, and then it takes off once you get out. So it's one of these things where, in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, I should take my profit. But I have to decide what kind of trade this is. Now, I'll remind you, right? Okay. I'll remind you that what we want, what we're hoping for, the raison d'etre of all of this is a big up, the big up, right? I just don't know if this is the big up. Okay. A 2% has always been the inflation target. It was 20 years ago when it was a brand new thing to talk about. I have a book somewhere, and I think My wife found a whole bunch of books upstairs that apparently I have in a different part of the house. I'm like, it's just funny. It's just funny because I lose things in my house. I'm like, what? I have I have 100 books up there. So, anyways, and I'm pretty sure there's a book on inflation targeting from 20 years ago when I bought it. It was a radical new idea that central banks were debating. So it's always been 2% in the United States. I mean, it's even funny. The Bank of Japan is another one that has a inflation target, and again, it's been 2% for 25 years, and they haven't even gotten to 1%. I mean, it'd be funny for them to even say, "Well, we're looking for 1% inflation." People would laugh, like 1% inflation. What are you drunk? Anyway, it's pretty funny. All right, any questions about this? That's how you swing trade, by the way. If you don't know how to swing trade, join my swing trading group. We meet Thursdays. Oh my God, today's Thursday. Okay. Who's going to meet with me today? Who's in my Thursday group? Anybody here? Always. Yeah. I shall be there. I too shall be there. Right on. Yeah. 100. Right on. Good. It's going to be a good one. I feel it. And the funny thing is, this is what we plan at the group, by the way, guys. Like, this trade is one of probably 8 that we planned last week. Idle says, hey, how do low interest rates in the long run damage banks? All right, banks charge a spread. Okay? But if interest rates are low, see, they're short on cash and they're long. Right? How do I say this? Okay, you have a deposit. Okay, and let's say they charge you 1%, or no, they pay you 1%, and then they give out loans, and they want to charge like 5%. Okay, and this might be 2%, and they'll want to charge 5%, but whatever, there's a spread, right? But in low interest rate environments, it's hard because there's no room to really have the spread. Okay? Because they also have their cost of borrowing. The cost to you or you know, but whatever. Just imagine that there's just the spread is very narrow. Okay? Just think of it that way. Okay, you guys are freaking out on gold. Let's go take a look. Okay. 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 So you already know what to do. Are you going to buy the dip? So again, guys, if you're freaking out like, oh my God, look at gold. No. First of all, never freak out. Then you should be planning this. Are you going to do it? What's your plan? You should say like, oh good, you're going to buy the dip. Okay, where are you going to buy it? Where, guys? What price? Oh, look at that. That's the default colors. I don't have to redo everything. And so anyways, what are you going to do? Are you going to do this plan or not? I did this for you, what, 4 or 5 days ago? Are you going to do it or what? Look at this. This was almost a sell. Maybe you caught this one. Maybe you tried this one, but look, no entry, right? No entry, no entry. This is very unusual behavior, of course. But the thing is, are you going to buy the dip or not? You can't see this. It's supposed to be fibbed out, but of course, I'm not going to spend time redoing my fibs because the new machine's coming on the weekend and I'm going to have to do it again. So you just have to do your own. Are you going to buy this dip or not? Okay? Uh, Michael Martin blew up his account because of a tight stop. That's the most ridiculous thing I've heard of, Michael. X325. Ho for show. Not O for sure. That's funny. Ho fo show. That's actually pretty funny. Yeah, I know, Michael. But just stop trying that, right? Just stop. I mean, it's ridiculous. So, yeah, first of all, don't be ashamed about it. If you recognize your mistake, then good, okay. But just everything about the statement is ridiculous. Like, first of all, you blew up your account. It's so ridiculous. It's beyond belief. But because you had a tight stop, it means you had no money, but you jacked up your leverage. I mean, it doesn't even make sense to me. But if you stop, first of all, and then open up a demo account to tradersway.com, do it right now, open up a demo account, okay, have 25,000 in play money, and trade that money as seriously as humanly possible for the next 5 years. Okay? As seriously as if it's real money. And over the next 5 years, grow the account. As slow and steady as you possibly can. And like, like literally what you said, you blew up your account. I don't understand that. But okay, I understand it's plausible. But it's stupid. But then because you had a tight stop, like all of a sudden, like, I'm like a fembot, right? I'm a fembot around Austin Powers, because right, it just doesn't make sense. How about that? It's just it's just really interesting, right? So I don't what you said doesn't make any sense to me. So here's the nice thing: you couldn't be any worse. So from here, you've hit bottom. Maybe, right? Maybe you've hit bottom. Maybe you've hit bottom. And from there, you can grow up. So open that demo account and let's get serious now, okay? Well, people that have stops too close are doing it because they're worried about losing money. And it's probably a good thing because they most likely have no idea what they're doing right or doing wrong. They're just afraid. So they're afraid because they know they don't have the skill or they haven't done the work or both. So it makes a lot of sense. Okay? For example, a hunter should be worried about safety at all times, but they're not worried about shooting themselves in the foot. They're not worried about, right? I mean, things can go wrong out in the woods, but, right? And you have to wear a safety vest and you have to take certain precautions and you have to carry and handle your weapon appropriately and all these things. I mean, it's important and they're well trained and they know how to do it. But when they go hunting, they're going to put ammo into animals and bring them home to eat. Okay. So anyways, going back to Michael, like I said, hopefully, if you're actually taking this seriously, hopefully you've hit bottom. And from here you can grow up and you can take my advice, open a demo account and start trading seriously. Okay? Now we can move on. This could be the first day of the rest of your life. Cool. Right on, Mike. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Cool. What a nice market. Okay. I don't have gold at a 50%, so I don't know where you're measuring. Okay. Remember, I'm not interested in trading volatility on gobbledygoo from the Fed. I already know what the Fed's going to do. I already know all of this. You know all of this. I'm already trading the long-term trend. So some gobbledygoo noise from a central banker brings excitement and joy and fear to the masses. Fine. But nothing has changed. Nothing's going to change. And I will continue doing what I want to do. Now, this volatility that makes gold go straight up and then gold comes straight back down, irrelevant. Irrelevant. So you can have your excitement if you want it. I keep asking you every single day, what do you want to do? You want to chase price around on Jackson Hole news releases? That's what you want to do? Okay. Okay. Or do you want to put some plans together? Right? Do you want to trade the noise every day? Maybe you do. That's fine. But what do you want for gold? If you can answer that, you will be successful or you won't get trades to set up or you'll have small losses. Okay? Do you want gold to go up? If so, you're in a zone in which you should probably have your finger on the trigger. If you don't want gold to go up, instead you want it to go down, we're in a zone that I identified days ago to not be trading. Why? It's neutral. Just as likely to go up or down. So how do you handle that? You wait for a breakout and you trade the direction you want. If you were a bear, you might have actually traded this and it didn't work out for you. Well, wah, blah, blah, blah. Okay? And now if you're a bull, you're sitting on an opportunity. What do you do here? What do you do? How do you behave? By the way, did you buy it way up at M3? That's like the dumbest thing you could do as a bull. Do you understand? The dumbest thing you could possibly do is buy it at an M3. I know you're not that weak. Okay? If you're that weak as a trader, you need to you need to work on your discipline and your skill. Okay? Right? This is the like the worst price you could possibly buy gold. Okay? But you're like, but Wayne, it just skyrocketed. Jay Powell said something. Yeah, so what? Okay? So what do you want to do now? Are you going to buy it at support? I know you can't. You didn't buy it at resistance. That would be dumb. And I know you ain't dumb, right? Mama didn't raise no fool. So what is it that you are looking to do? What is your plan? Okay? What is your plan? Okay? What is your plan? What is your plan? What is your plan? What is your plan? Mama didn't raise no fool. All right? What are your thoughts on pound yen? Well, pound is reasonably strong. Yen has just started some weakness. Okay? You are not alone. All right, by the way, do you guys remember at the beginning of the week on Monday I did this for you? I even drew the gray zone for you. I drew the channel, right? We were on the buy zone. I manually drew the gray zone as your target. Okay? And I think I even measured it for you. Okay? 150 pips. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, manually did everything for you. And I went back and I said, look, you buy it and there's your target, right? You buy it, there's your target. 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 Yeah. Boom! Shalakalaka. Well, the exit part, Emerald, is actually difficult. It's the most challenging part of this time of year. Is it a day trade? Is it a swing trade? Or is it a position trade? The answer is yes, because it's all three. But which one do you hold and which one do you fold? And I don't have clear answers on that because I don't know the future either. But I have sort of a blurred fog of war vision. Like I know the strategy and I know where we need to go and where we need to get, how we need to get there. But then, of course, you have to adapt in the real world, right? So the adaption part is difficult because, let's say, in many years, a trade this time of August, I'll hold to December, right? And then let's say 50% of the time, these like Aussie dollar trades that I'm in, half the time they get knocked out at break even, and the other half they go up 1,000 pips. Which one do I do? And I don't know. And nor do you. But that's your alpha. That's your ability to make decisions, and that's unique to every trader, right? The market going up is the beta. And you can analyze the beta. You can say, there's nowhere else to put your money besides the stock market. So the stock market goes up. And when the stock market goes up, X, Y, and Z happens in the foreign exchange market. So therefore, you do that too. Okay, that's all known. That's called beta. And then your ability to make decisions on when do you buy, when do you sell, right? When do you get in? When do you move your stop? When do you exit? When do you hold for 3 weeks versus 3 days versus 3 hours? Well, that's you. And there could be 100 traders on our desk together at the trading desk of our hedge fund, and every single person has a slightly different trade history. Okay? No one's doing bad, but some people may not be doing great because maybe they got the wrong bias or the time or whatever, but they're not doing horrible. And then most people are doing all right. Some people are doing excellent. And the excellent ones take care of all the media, the sort of the poorish ones, right? The lower performing on the right. What they say is the fat right tail takes care of the long, thin left tail. And what you have in the middle is just good trades, profitability, low volatility, right? Consistent returns. And you're like, oh, there you go. But every single trader is going to be different because their decision-making process is unique to them. So we had a question about the beast. I don't even have beast on here, but let's throw down a beast. Oh, there it is. Boom. Okay. And let's do you, I want to do swing trading bullish. Okay. Cool. Okay. So here's how to trade it. You buy it on Monday and you're done. You going to join the swing trading group? Join the group. You need to know this. Okay. Okay, so let's put it here. Let's also update this to say, all right, give me the conservative target as well as the aggressive. So let's throw that down. Okay, you ready? So the conservative target we knew 4 days ago was 140, and the aggressive target is 140.50. So you could have, let's say, yesterday taken half your trade off and locked in, and then trying to let the other one go. How do you join the swing trading group? You go to fxbootcamp.com. You sign up for the video training courses. When you're done that, it says, hey, do you want to join the live group that meets on Thursdays? Okay, that's how you do it. Okay. So we need to get a lot higher. We need to get through this 140 level clean. We haven't done it yet. Okay. But I'd like us to get clean through, because the process here is basically up, sideways, right? Up, sideways, up, sideways, up, sideways. Now we need a clean break. Okay. Got to get clean above here. I want to be on the free and clear plan, okay? Because it'll pull up the buy zone, okay? And I want the buy zone to be basically 140. Right now it's at 139.61. So I want this to rise about 40 pips, which means I need this to come up, let's say, another 100 pips. I need this to even go through our aggressive target, which I guess is unlikely, but still. So maybe this goes up to 140.50 and then 139.80 and then up. And I'd be all right with that as well. But I need this green zone to rise up. Where can you get... Oh, by the way, when it's like, where do I get this? Where do I get that? Almost every answer to your question of where do I get this is in the description below today's videos. So like, where do you get the training courses? fxbootcamp.com. Where do you join the live trading group? fxbootcamp.com. Where do I get a demo account? tradersway.com. Where do I get the book? It's on Amazon.com. All these links are below. Where do I get the chart templates? Metatraders.com. The link is in the description below. 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 Okay? Lots of resources available. Okay? And why are there so many resources available? Well, I've been doing this for almost 20 years. And people ask me, how do I do this? Where do I get that? Can you do this for me? Can you teach me this? Can you teach me that? So it's all been done over the course of 20 years and made available because people need it and have asked for it. There were thousands of people in front of me. Cool. The question now is, do you recommend any good macroeconomic books? And you would think I could, but I don't. I don't know any good macroeconomic books. Any articles by me? I haven't written for magazines in a long time. I stopped most of all that stuff when my children were born. So I used to do TV and magazines and all that kind of stuff and conferences. I'd go to like 5 conferences a year, maybe more. I'd spend, I think it was pretty close to $300,000 a year going to conferences. Never made a penny back, of course. But it was sort of like my fun vacations. I stopped all that once I got kids. It was hard on my wife to travel while we had little ones and stuff. And so I shut down my office. I shut down the travel. I stopped doing all the magazines and stuff. And just hang out at home. Where do you learn macroeconomics? The trading courses. Is that right, Maida? Thank you very much. Besides that, I think the easiest way, because I'm self-taught, right? And then when I go through, I have a formal education. I have a degree in macroeconomics, but I don't think Harvard taught me anything in regards to macroeconomics. I've taken the classes and I've learned the models and I know all the esoteric stuff. I can do the math. I don't think any of it would make me a better trader, right? Like the formal education stuff, the thing on the wall. This thing says, I know macroeconomics. That's my degree in macroeconomics. None of that matters, actually. Now, it's proof I've done it. But I think the fastest way for you to learn, and I hope you don't think it's a sales pitch, but I think if you joined the live trading group where you meet with me on Thursdays, you can ask me questions and we can have a conversation about it. And I will tell you what I'm looking at. I'll break it down into how I digest it and put that policy into procedure. And I think you'll learn faster that way than any book, because I can't think of one book that would have taught me any of that. So it's sort of like I took the esoteric education and then squeezed it through 20 years of experience, and out comes a trade plan. And I think that would be the faster part. Okay. Maida says the Fed is now targeting 2%. Well, what they talked about in the meeting minutes was, the question, the part that the Fed is talking about is when the market believes it will cross the 2%. Do you understand? So it's the crossing of the potential and actual. So, and we have a date on that, by the way. So let's say you got this is inflation. So you go I star, okay? And then you have real or actual, let's say. And the question is, right, if I star is equal to 2, so if I star is equal to 2%, well, I guess that doesn't make sense the way I drew this, but okay, hang on, let me kill that. Okay, so let's say when does actual, so this is I, when does actual inflation rise above, let's say, the inflation target? Let's just call I star inflation target. And right now, what they're saying is based on the prices in the money market, which I showed you guys, I think it was Monday we did this. We went to the money market and I showed you that they're expecting this to occur in 2024. Now, why does that matter? See, you're getting this, by the way, to the person that asked, like, how can I learn about macroeconomics? I'm doing this big time for you. Are you going to find a book on this? I mean, I can't think of one except textbooks, and then you have to translate the textbooks into real life meaning, and that's the problem. I don't think there is one, or at least I don't have one. Okay, so what's the issue here? So I star versus I, the crossover 2024, but what does this mean? Now, this is from not the Fed, this is from the money market, and I showed you this on Monday. So now you might say, well, what does that mean, the money market, and how does that happen, and who sets that price, and whose expectation is that? Well, that's another whole long conversation. Okay? Johan says you can't find the price of the video training course on the website. You click the giant button that says join. Right? Click the giant button. Okay? So, what is this? Why does this matter now? Yeah, right on. You got it, Roo. Okay? Why, guys? What does it mean? Okay? And by the way, none of this is new information to us who actually went through the meeting minutes. We already know the Fed's been discussing this. So how do we translate this into knowledge? What does that mean? What would the change in policy be, Daniel? Raise interest rates. Absolutely. Thumbs up. Well done, Daniel. Yes. So now we can say the Fed, in a period around this crossover, will, right? So as we approach it, they will start talking about it. Then they'll hit it. And then after the fact, they'll do it. And somewhere between, let's say, point A and point B will be, there'll be, let's say, a change in market sentiment. Let's put it that way. Daniel says because of inflation. Yes, but not like the kind of, I mean, there's different types of inflation. I would say like not third world type inflation, more like I would call it growth. I would call it because of the business cycle, not because of inflation. Okay? What matters most Okay, write this down because I'm about to tell you something good. What matters most is when this occurs. Okay? Imagine this as an oscillator now. Okay? What happens to make an oscillator roll back down? Whatever it's measuring, stop making higher highs and instead started making lower lows. Okay? That's what makes, right? So whether this is the stock market or the economy, honestly, it doesn't matter. When there's a change in either GDP or inflation or some other measure, maybe whatever. We'll just keep it there. I'm gonna do it as GDP. When there's a change in GDP, or it could even be the S&P 500, but it's not the no. I'll take that back because it's this turns the stock market down. So in this period, okay, I will shift my entire portfolio. I will probably let me do. How would I do it if I was a younger man? Okay, if life was easy. Okay, one, I would sell my entire stock portfolio, all of it. Okay, I would buy bonds. I would sell my house and rent. By the way, if you guys knew me back in 2005, 2006, 2007, I prepared everyone at FX Bootcamp over the course of more than a year to do all of this. And then I told them the day I was doing it. And and my wife and I dumped our stock portfolio, sold our house. We had just had our second child. My wife was still nursing her. My first child was learning to walk. If you've ever seen a little child kind of cruising around the house, holding onto the side of the couch, that was the scenario that I was in. And we sold our house, we sold our portfolio, dumped everything, and moved to the other side of the United States, leaving my wife's friends and family behind. Let's see if you can make that trade. That's a real trade. Can you do that? Tell your wife with a toddler and a nursing baby that you're going to sell everything and move away from her friends and family. Because you think the stock market that's been going up for a generation is about to crash. And houses that double every year are going to crash. Let's see if you got that in your bag. Okay? So FT9 says, oh wait, he's already telling us when the stock market's going to crash. Yes, based on analysis. Okay, so since 2008, there's been so many experts going on TV and on the radio and in newspapers telling you the stock market is going up, but it shouldn't be. The crash is coming, the crash is coming, the crash is coming. And at times since 2008 to now, there's been, weeks when the stock market dropped 10%. And they're like, this is it. Here's the big crash. And what have I always told you? I said, look at the facts. You right? You following me? I said, don't listen to it. Look at the facts. And based on fundamental analysis, right, there is no crash. Okay? And so we've had this steady upstream for a year. And yet people have been fearful. By the way, we're at 1 hour and 10 minutes. Do we have the bad sound yet? Or is sound okay? I did make some changes. Okay. You don't have the zone indicator? Yeah, it's called bias. And by the way, if you bought it a long time ago, like 4 months ago, go back. It's in there. Run the installer. Good. Well, I'm glad this sound is good. I wonder what change I made, huh? So that's good news. So taking a look at this, okay. 2 weeks ago, this was the buy zone. Last week, this was the buy zone. And this week, this was the buy zone. I know it didn't work last week. I'm so sorry. Okay. I hope, though, that I'm making a positive impact where you sit back and you're like, son of a gun. Is anybody having those kinds of, self-talking? Like, think of it this way. Nothing happened for a week, and you give up. Right? Why do you get lost in this? Or worse, how does somebody lose a lot of money in here? Like, to the person that blew up their trading account, I'm like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. What are you talking about? Okay? How do you lose money in here when nothing happened? Also, if you were a bull and you bought here on, we'll call it Tuesday, and then you put your stop down here, it should be farther down, right? So let's say this is your stop here, stop, and you bought it on Tuesday, you were done. What do you mean you blew up your trading account? What do you mean you had 9 trades or 19 trades or 95 trades? You're like, there was 1 trade. 1. Okay? 1. It came down, you bought it. Okay? And so maybe you didn't buy this Tuesday trade, maybe you didn't buy that Tuesday trade, but you bought this one. Okay, that's fine. So what did you do since last week? Nothing. Maybe you moved your stop. Moved it from here to here. And now what is it doing? It's going up. Like, why is there all this other drama? Right? You're buying here, and then you lost money here, and then what? And then what? What? Why all the drama? Okay? Guess what happened? It broke above 80. It hit 81. It came back to 80, and people bought it. And now it's going back up. Why is it more complicated than that? Do you prefer the Gartley pattern? Do you prefer the candlestick pattern? Like, right? Like, we need simplification, right? Check it out. Here's how it works. Okay. Look at it falling down here in July. See? It fell for weeks in July. Am I a bull or a bear? You know. You know what I am. Okay? You know what I am. And because of that, you should know that knowing is important, right? And was I a bull as it fell? Was I a bull on the way down? It fell for weeks, guys. Am I a bull on the way down? Yeah, I'm a bull on the way down. Cool. So what does that mean? Am I buying the as it falls? No. Yeah, well said. Right? Julie says, yeah, I'm a bull on the way down, but I'm not buying on the way down. Okay. So you buy the up. Okay. Sweet. Somewhere in this process, as a bull, you see obvious buy zones. And it's the stuff that you're doing in between that is hurting you. Okay? Okay? I know you can do this, and that's the important part. Okay? I know you can do this, and that is the important part. Okay? So when you're down here, you don't trade. When you're above the step, right, you're looking for step ups. This was an unusually good August. And I think the whole time I said we need to be thankful for it. Okay. See, the market doesn't like change, does it? Uh-oh, did I lose internet? My machine behind me went out. No, this one seems fine. Oh, maybe not. Joshua, log back in and run the new installer. So what just happened here? Wow. So people do not like what Powell said. Good thing you didn't chase it. Well, Lira's probably dead. I don't know why they've even kept it along. Yeah, Lira's probably dead. It makes sense to get rid of it completely. Look at ZAR kicking right off the target. See, there's a sell. There's an exit. So we're back above 17, but is it going to turn around? The turnaround is supposed to be around this 17 area. We're just tickling 17 right now. That dollar got strong. So Powell said something bad. Not that he said something bad, but there's still risk in this market, is what he's done. So hopefully it doesn't screw things up too long. You guys want to do crypto? Yeah, well, Umaida grabbed a thing. Powell acknowledges it's counterintuitive to Fed want higher inflation. What they should do, and it would be helpful to sort of the lay public, instead of talking about inflation, they should talk about growth. They should say they want higher growth. People understand that. Economic growth, more economic activity. That's really what they should be talking about. Yeah, Guy, that makes sense, right? I don't think I lost internet because then we would lose. So maybe you guys just have the same live account servers I have. So yeah, so anyways, like the libertarians should change their name. I think maybe the Fed should talk less about inflation, more about economic growth. I think people understand that. XRP. So who trades this one? So someone like a year ago was telling me how this was going to be the thing. I guess they were right if I was buying it at 11. XRP at 21 looks more interesting. Okay, so the sell zone is already set, but I want to look at this from a bullish point of view, I suppose. Wonder if I can do, oh, I don't have the monthly set. We can do swing bullish. But I want to change this. Wow, it went away. What happened there? Monthly, maybe too many. That's interesting, isn't it? Next week and next month has the same pivot. Yeah, Ripple. Yeah. If anything, I think central banks are going to try creating their own, which is kind of weird gobbledygook. Uh, am I talking about swap long-term investment trades this year, aka carry trades? No, not really, because there truly isn't much carry left at all in a world where we're zero interest rate policy, otherwise known as ZERP. So in a ZERP world, there really isn't a carry, but there are position trades for sure. Jim, I think the fact that all central banks are going to try it, right? I think it's the thing to watch. Okay. Boo doo 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 doo. So that's interesting. On that parent or that, yeah, that parent. Well, the interesting thing about a roller coaster is you probably shouldn't be trading it, right? Do you trade roller coasters or do you trade sure things? See, I like trends, right? So I've been stuck here for a while. I wonder if we're gonna, tickle 92 and bring it down. And I don't really, I mean, that's not really anything because it just tells me whether I should be selling one or the other. Look at this. Let's measure it like there's a thing here, right? And we're right in the middle now, so if we measure that statistically, look at that. We're just off the average price. So pound Swissy's done nothing since March, since the big collapse, and then popped back up to an average price and just farted around here. Pretty amazing, huh? Definitely not that interesting. Unless you're going to try to pick a direction on this and say it has woken up. I don't know if I would go for that, but you'd be thinking like this in the future. That would certainly be indicative of risk on, which would be a good thing. Wayne, can you say what's the difference between getting into a trade looking at price integrity of multiple time frames and just getting onto a trade on a smaller time frame with pivots only? There is no difference. You have to understand, I don't trade anything without an understanding of multiple time frames. So I got to remove some of these. There is no such thing like I'm going to ignore the higher time frame and just trade the lower time frame. No, that doesn't exist. Oh no, we lost it, huh? But we got an extra 20 minutes out of it. Oh, it came back. Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, we're at 1 hour and 35 minutes, and usually it dies around 1 hour and 5 minutes. So we got an extra half an hour, but it popped back. So I wonder if I had changed a setting. I wonder if somewhere it's caching something and then dumping it. And like I changed something, so now it dumps it, dumps the cache or something. I don't know. Okay. Cool. Control F5. That's funny. I've never Control F5. Interesting. Wonder why that would be important. So this is like a pound index. Pound on the left, right? Numerator, denominator, not even a pound. Numerator, numerator, numerator. So you probably don't want that, and you probably don't want that. So let's just kill these. Okay. So in this case, if pound's going up, pound is strong. If these are coming down, pound is weak. So pound versus Aussie, sort of mediocrity. Pound versus Noki, okay, versus Norway, more, right? Norway's a bit weak. Pound versus Swissy, trying to get to a new high. Pound versus dollar, stabilizing after the news. Now notice that these are not random walks at all. Look where it had trouble. Look where it bounced. Okay. You see? Interesting, right? Not random walks. Yeah, danger zone. Well, at least you didn't buy it at the M3, huh? You should never buy anything because it's rising. You only buy things because you've analyzed the markets and you're buying a dip. You're getting a good deal based on the analysis you do. I still fear, even though you might have been to years of my webinars, I still fear that you don't do research and you don't buy because you've analyzed a good deal. I'm not sure if you think that way. I want you to be that way. I want you to say, oh, this is a steal. Not like, look at it move. Oh, now I have to do something. It's quite silly, actually. So we're just stuck back in the range again. And the volatility did nothing but probably create a liquidity event. What type of research? We call that fundamental analysis. Right? So a dollar bull might find this a deal. Okay. You should be thinking, if you're a dollar bull, that you want to buy around 1915, even 1925. This is fine. You can say 1925 because you're somewhere between 15 and 35. But if it drops to 1860s, 1870, you might buy it down there too if it falls further. So, right, like very basically, if you're a bull, you're thinking sort of plan A, plan B. And your idea is this or this. Okay? And so one of the benefits of buying low like this is that as this crazy news is happening, nothing's changed for you. You're like, huh, In fact, what happens is if you're not at your charts, you don't even see this and you don't even recognize it. Do you guys ever just like kind of watch your positions on your cell phone? You look at it, you're like, yep, still up 100 pips. But you didn't see that you were up and then down, then up and then down, and up and down and up. You just see like, yeah, you bought it low and now it's high. And you're like, yep, that's what I thought. Peter says, setting up for September 1st. Well, what happens in a scenario like this is you clear out all the orders, right? You're squeezing out all the dumb money. Brooks says down to 18. Well, I don't see that on this time frame, right? So, Brooke, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing. But the other way I did it is, if you recall this presentation, buy it at 19, buy it at 18, buy it at 17. Okay? So, if you have this type of attitude, so let's kill this out, right? If you're just trading it like a George Soros, your fundamentals tell you gold goes up. Okay? So you're like, where am I going to buy it? Oh, I don't know, here, here, and here. Okay? Okay? And it tickled it, what was it, yesterday? You had a chance yesterday to just do the George Soros trade. Okay? And if you're that buyer, then today you're looking at this as a new opportunity, right? There's your trade yesterday. And now you're going to try to like parallel trade it here. And that's not quite right. It's still not bullish. But I don't know. Okay, you're thinking, how do I want to draw this? Well, the confusing is all the red lines. So let's put it together. You're a bull because you think whatever reason gold is going to go up between now and the end of the year. Not even today, right? Next year. How about over the next 5 years? Okay. So you start at, there's a buy. Okay. And then there's a new buy. But you would also buy in a situation like this. You see? So you buy at bottoms, you buy at psych levels, you buy breakouts, higher highs, higher lows, right? And you're doing this not on a minute by minute, but maybe daily, maybe 4 hour, all that kind of stuff. But you want to buy, the prices. Okay? I guess is what I'm saying. And once in a while you get crazy volatility off of news. By the way, it's not because of CPI. It's not because of even NFP. It's not because of ISM. News like this now or volatility like this now, only comes from central banks. Okay? So if you have a bias, you're thinking, would you buy it at 19? Okay. Now what do you want to do? Now we're back in the old range. Okay. We're back in the old range. How do you want to behave now? Okay. I'd still let it fart around in here for a while. Okay. So, if you're a bull, you would have it marked, I don't know, you would have it marked, let's say like this. Okay. Let's do it that way. It just makes sense, right? So you're either buying the low here or you're buying low here. And the volatility is not your friend, as you saw today. Okay? And remember, when we were here, I said, if you're just buying it now because of Powell, because of the news, remember I said nothing's changed, there, right? This doesn't impact things on the long run. If you're buying it just because it's green, okay? And then I tried drawing a fib and all that kind of stuff. But chasing it is not patience and is not discipline. Patience and discipline is getting together on Thursday and planning what you're going to do on Monday. Do you understand that? That's how you're supposed to trade. Maybe it's not as sexy as you'd like it to be. It's not as fun to watch as Fortnite, but it's called Forex. And it's supposed to be patient. It's supposed to be disciplined. It's supposed to be logical. It's supposed to be intelligent. You don't have to be exactly right at the exact, right? You need to have a strategy, and the strategy takes care of you. Now, what is a strategy? Is it a technique for entering? No, it's not a technique for entering. It's knowing that you want to buy a dip. And then you look at this and say, well, it's not actually trending up yet, so I'm not quite actually interested. But if it's at support, I can at least range trade it in the direction of my bias, right? Okay. Well, like one thing so every once in a while on FX Bootcamp's YouTube channel, I do something called Off the Charts with Wayne McDonald. And I read through Barron's magazine. And at the end, there's often a portfolio manager interview. And one of the reasons I like reading that to the group is that they'll say things like, this is what we do. They have to answer a question like that. What is it that you do? Are you a growth stock? Are you a value stock? Like what do you buy, right? Are you long bonds? Are you short bonds? Are you long short? Like what do you do, right? Right? What is it that you do? Most people, when they come to the live stream, cannot answer that question. What is it that you do? I trade Forex. It's not an answer. Okay, that's right. So what is it that you do? What value do you add? Where do you fit in someone's portfolio, right? And then another interesting thing is you read about these people and they're managing, let's say, $3 billion. They make $10 million a year. And then you actually see what they actually do. And you find out 5 or 6 times a year, they buy a stock. Or maybe they sell a stock. Usually the selling comes through rebalancing on a quarterly basis. So really, it's every few months, sometimes only once or twice a year, they buy a new stock. They make $1 million a month. Now let's dumb it down. They make $100,000 a month, personally. And every 4 or 5 months, they take a new position. And yet, 27 times a day, you take different positions. Long and short, short and long, long and short. And I'm like, what do you do? And you're like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but it's exciting. Right? Like, whoa. There are people that work a lot less than you and make a lot more money. But they have a point of view, right? They have a purpose. And they don't trade every single day. but they know exactly what they want to do. And someone says, well, are you a value or are you a growth? I'm like, oh, well, I'm a growth. Someone else says, no, well, I'm a value. Cool. And that means something to them. That means they do certain things and they don't do other things. Okay? Do you buy gold or not? Or do you sell gold or not? What is it that you do? Okay. I think it was a while ago that we identified sort of lack of direction. And I think that's why you get this nonsense. And I think amateurs are just getting destroyed. Why? Because the market isn't trending. Why would you expect it to go somewhere? So I would say, and that's why we trapped it here, I would say if I were me, especially if you're a bull, you don't trade it until you get something like this. And then you'll trap it probably in a different kind of range, and then the next one's going to look like this. Okay? Right? Let's do one or two more requests and then we'll call it a day. What would you like me to cover next? You let me know what you would find helpful and I'll do my best to cover it. Please type in the chat what you'd like me to cover in the next 6.5 minutes. Euro Aussie. So another across Bitcoin, Euro ZAR. Really? Kiwi yen? Okay, I'm going to go Kiwi yen. I don't really like those cross rates. They're so short term. Typically, not always. All right, so I guess I got it that way. All right, Kiwi yen. Let's start on high. It is neutral, but I'd like to buy it at 70. So I got that going for me. So let's go to this time frame. And I'm going to highlight this out. And yeah, so I'm done. If you take the training course at fxbootcamp.com, sales pitch. If you take the training courses at fxbootcamp.com, which are currently almost 80% discounted, you would know that as a bull, this is a buy and this is your exit. So I'm already assuming you bought this. And by the way, the exact hour, okay? And then here's the exit. And I'm thinking now next week, I know it's not, there's a lot going against this idea, but there's some favor toward it. I'd like to see this next. So I need it to drop so I can buy it. Oh my God, you mean buy a dip? Yeah. 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 For sure. Yeah. 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 Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. 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 All right, let's do one more. Can you pay for the training courses with Skrill? No. You got credit card or you got no credit card? You got, right? You got no money, you got no car, you got no woman, and there you are. Kishcore just joined the group. Beep, beep. We should have like a bell. Ding, 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 ding. Cool, man. Can't wait to see you. It's going to be good. Nice. The thing is, we actually have a really good community. So you'll find, probably 50% of the benefit is being with a lot of cool kids that are very caring. Not Karen, caring. Sharon and Karen. All right. Coolio. So let's do one more. Yeah, sorry, Sarker. I don't know. I'm not set up for all that. A Visa, MasterCard, or American Express. Even Discover, for Christ's sake. Yeah. Bitcoin, I thought we did video already. Euro dollar hasn't done much. Well, you're in the crosswinds, right? Pound Kiwi. See, the thing is, guys, you're doing crosses and they're very short term. They're not fundamental per se. I mean, they kind of are, they kind of aren't. I kind of want to stay away from like a pound Kiwi. Really? Really? So you look at this and you're like, okay, pound Kiwi. So let's just look at this. So someone said pound Kiwi. Pound is strong, Kiwi is strong. Why the heck would you want to even look at trading it? It makes no sense. So whoever asked it, I'm shaming you on purpose because, sorry, Mike, it makes no sense. That's a horrible trade to look at. Horrible. So you need to do more relative strength exercises. So for example, you look at pound and you say, is pound generally strong or generally weak? And then you say, is euro strong, or generally weak? And then you go, and then you go, and again you go, and you go through all this, and you probably wouldn't combine those two. Okay. Euro weak, euro weak, euro weak. Euro not as weak as the South African rand. Euro weak, euro weak. Well, I guess the same thing. Looks like Norway is actually weaker than euro right now, and euro yen neutral, right? So from all of this, you can get like euro's weak, yen is weak, South Africa's worse, so on and so forth, and you get your relative strengths, so that if you're in a scenario like this, you would never look at this. You wouldn't look at combining those two. Okay. Euro dollar. Okay, let's just do euro dollar. But the thing is, yeah, okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Geek busted. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boo, doo, 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 doo. All right, let's let's do this. Kick busted. Okay, there's your buy zone. There's your sell zone. Okay, and let's take a longer point of view. This has a lot to do with where you think this is going to be in the future. Okay? So some people in the world might think that this is going to stay above 117.50. Well, we're at 117 like 80. We're only 25, 30 pips away from this. Okay? And at some point you may think this will want to go up. So here's the way that you should be handling this, even though nothing's happened in a month. Okay. On smaller time frames, you might be a buyer. Okay. The larger time frames, do you see this? You might have wondered, how come I haven't been covering euro dollar at all this month? Like, how come I never talk about the most traded currency on the planet? Because there's no trade. Okay? If anything, there's the counter trend, the head and shoulders, but I don't want it to do that. It does not fit my bias. So from my point of view, and remember, I don't know if I'm right, I just have a point of view. I don't have a trade, nor do I want it to counter trend. So there's just nothing except an amazing opportunity to lose money. Do you guys see that? But I might buy here because I'm a bull, okay? As a bull, I can think about it here. I can think about it here. Okay? But I know it's elevated. But I think it's elevated because everyone wants to buy it. Just like me. I'm not alone. So I might buy it here and take it north. So how do I come up with that opinion? Fundamental analysis. Fundies. Okay? Oh, right on, Peter. Make sure you subscribe. Oh, by the way, I need subscribers at the FX Bootcamp YouTube channel. Can you guys do that for me right now? Let me type it in. http://www.youtube.com/FXBootcamp. I need subscribers there, okay? There's 4,000 videos there. Yeah, literally 4,000 hours of videos. There's also a free training course, but I need to unlock 10,000 subscribers. There's 9,650 or something like that, right? So I just need a few hundred more. And what happens is YouTube unlocks some features and we can do something cool. Like maybe I'm thinking about doing a book club. Yeah. And there's some other cool things that we could probably do. But I don't have the features to do that and all that kind of stuff. So if you can subscribe there as well. Also I'm assuming you're a subscriber here at Forex.Today. If you need a trading account, tradersway.com. If you're enjoying these webinars and they're helpful, remember, they don't cost you money, but they are not free. They come with an obligation. So just to thank Traders Way, visit tradersway.com. If you need a link to my book, the link is in the description below. If you need a link to the chart templates for MetaTraders, the link is in the description below. If you're going to join my live group or take all the video training courses, the link is in the description below. The link is in the description below. The link is in the description below. And the link to the thing you want and need is in the description below. So maybe take a look at that. I appreciate the likes, the little thumbs up things that tells YouTube this is quality content. And I also appreciate your comments. I do read most of the comments, right? Only 50% of the comments are spam. That's pretty good. The spam's getting pretty good, right? They're even saying things like, thanks, Wayne. This is a quality video. You're one of the best except for Mr. Jimi Hendrix, who turned my $5,000 account into a $50 million account, and I was so desperate without him. And then they get like 27 comments on that comment. You're like, wow, that's some good spam. But it'd be great if you could leave quality comments where you're like, hey, I learned this today. The best part of that is you can search through your archives and pull up your own notes, right? But some pretty good spamming out there. Wow, sophisticated. Make sure you don't fall for that nonsense, huh? Yeah, he's a pretty good trader. He had a fat thumb, though, if you know Jimi Hendrix. So anyways, peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. Have a wonderful day. Today is a Thursday, so if you're in my live group, I'll see you tonight. And if not, I will see you tomorrow morning. Forex.Today. Thanks, everyone. Cheers.